In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and pink beetles.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of On the Bluff. I'm your host, Christian Fowler. Joining me, as always, my co-host, our producer, Kenny Stubblefield. And boys, before we get to any discussion, I want to give a disclaimer to everyone. My voice is rough, and we'll talk about my escapades, I'm sure, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I went from 30 degrees to 80 degrees, back to 30 degrees, to 70 degrees, back to 30 degrees. So my sinuses, my voice, it's all a wreck. I did Gabe's show earlier today. I was telling Kenny this, and I had to short win like 3 answers because I had no voice left, and I was about to start coughing. So if you're watching, it might be a little bit easier. If you're listening, just excuse the voice because we might have some cracks in there. We might have some coughs. Try to hit mute real quick. So it's going to be a struggle tonight.
You sound great, brother. You sounded great on the show earlier.
Yeah.
Sound like I'm going through puberty again.
Hey, I'm just gonna say, the last time we saw you, you weren't married. Yeah. Now you're married, and your voice.
You're already sick. Like, unbelievable.
Your voice sound like it's like the manly voice is. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, bro. It's like something has changed in Christian Fowler, bro. Yeah, I don't know what's
it's a grown man voice.
He's already run into the ground. Look at him. A week of marriage, he's already run ragged. Look at him.
It's been a wild few weeks. So we got married on the 20th. So you boys know what wedding week is like. It's crazy. It's nonstop. Then you finally get there. I was so quickly. I'm not going to try to talk forever, but quickly. Saturday night, we get to the hotel room, and Anna Ruth is like taking off her makeup and everything.
I'm out, bro.
You gotta be careful, bro. Come on.
I'm out,
bro. Not going there.
Like, I don't know how AR may not like all that.
He already showed us his ass on the
makeup.
Okay. Yes, taking makeup off.
Let's not pause in between those.
No, but this just shows you the exhaustion.
Taking off her makeup.
From then until what comes after that. So I literally lay in the hotel floor. Like, I take my suit jacket off, my tux jacket off. I unbutton my shirt and I just like starfished in the floor of the hotel room for like 30 minutes because I was so exhausted.
Yeah.
Then we wake up Monday morning, 3:00 in the morning. We go to St. Vincent.
That's rough, brother. We took a day off after the wedding before.
We did too. That's why I said we woke up on Monday and,
Monday,
did that.
Monday,
yeah, we took a day off. I physically couldn't have done that.
No chance.
That was a 12.5-hour travel day, I'm pretty sure. Ooh. We spent a week in St. Vincent, which was amazing, great experience. Came back on Sunday night, so not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, the 28th, I believe that was. We landed in Memphis at 11:30, came home, went to work the next day, did Christmas with her family on Monday because we were out of town for Christmas, did Christmas with my family on Tuesday, and then Thursday we woke up and went to New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl and got back Saturday night at 8:00. So
I feel so sad for you.
No, I'm not. It's not a feel bad thing. It's just the last 3 weeks have been a whirlwind. It's been amazing. Sure. I have no complaints, but I'm glad to be back home and settling into an actual routine rather than just bouncing all over the place. But no, it was a great 3 weeks. No complaints there. Just been busy.
Two things to say. One, congrats to you and your lovely wife. Also to you. Honeymoon. Congrats on the sex. Great job. Everybody involved. So happy for everyone. Oh, but you went to St. Vincent, okay? Yeah. All inclusive. Your first all inclusive.
First time.
We talked about it on the radio a little bit earlier. I figured that with all the all inclusive food, you would look like pre-2021 Christian in the face. You know, it was a little chunkier. I think Kenny, did you pull what I told you to pull? We got it. Yeah, that's what I was expecting with you coming back from St. Vincent with all that all-inclusive food.
It's not far from that. I don't feel far from that right now.
You feel that way right now?
Yeah, I feel that way.
You on the Kenny on our spot earlier on my show, he was saying, you know, I was looking around at all these other tables. They're only ordering one entree. It's all inclusive. I'm like, you probably look like the biggest Hoosier ever. Like, give me one of everything.
Yeah, I was like, what are they going to do? Judge me? I've never seen these people again.
Exactly. Did you make any vacation friends? Vacation friends are the best.
Yeah, we met a couple. We met a younger couple our age couple.
God damn, how young are they?
Our age couple on the plane, and they had the same exact 48 hours that we had. They had gotten married on Saturday. They were honeymooning like to a T, almost the exact same 48 hours. And we saw them pretty regularly throughout the trip on the beach or at restaurants or whatever. Then we did a sunset cruise on the 26th, I think, and we met an older couple, and they were super cool. We talked to them the whole boat ride, so we talkked to them for like 2.5 hours. So
older couples like me and Taylor to you. I mean, that's ridiculous.
yeah. No,
yeah, he's admitting it.
They were quite older, but couple vacation friends. But yeah, Kenny, I was telling Gabe that earlier. Like I was looking around. Some people, no appetizers, no drinks, just an entree apiece. We were like 3 appetizers, 3 entrees. Like
it was all inclusive. What are they doing? Yeah.
I don't understand. I
don't want to be a glutton, bro. You just paid a shit ton of money to go
do
on
this
trip. Like
for this.
But also, don't you kind of look over eager as the guy that's like, I'll take the filet mignon, the ribeye, and the porterhouse.
That you almost nailed it.
Sides of mashed potatoes, asparagus, and green beans. And she'll have the salad.
You almost completely nailed it. We did we did go to the steakhouse one night. She got the surf and turf, so she got the filet and the lobster. I got the ribeye, and then I was like, "Should we get the lamb chops or the prime rib?" And she was like, "The prime rib," and I was like, "All right, sweet." So we got that.
Dude, I love. You were at a Sandals, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I swear the food at Sandals better than any other all-inclusive I've been to, bro.
It's so good. I was worried. I was worried about the food because, you know, like, and I know this, it's a lot different than a cruise, obviously, because you're at a resort, you're not on a boat. But everything I've ever heard about cruises is like, you can eat everything that you want to, but it's not seasoned very well. It's all pretty bland, and it's just like whatever. Yeah. Sandals is not like that. Like they've got the lunch buffets, the breakfast buffets. They have
Dude, I would go ham on a breakfast buffet. Breakfast buffets are the best to me. They're the absolute best.
I'm not a big I love breakfast food, but I don't eat breakfast. Like I don't eat until
Did they in St. Vincent? Did they have like the British fare and the breakfast buffet? Because they had like when I went to St. Lucia, they had like the tomatoes and the beans and like the hash browns that aren't like they're like the pre-made hash browns, like the ones you throw in the air fryer.
At the lunch buffet, they did a different country every single day.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Some countries are shit though.
What was your favorite?
Honest, you know.
So I think we did the lunch buffet like 3 or 4 days. They had an American day. There was British one day that we went. Caribbean one day that we went, and then maybe we did go another time and it was something else. But it was all
they had British.
Yeah.
That food sucks though.
Yeah, but they didn't do like the sucky food. They did good food. Like every time that they did the buffet, it was like, oh, this is all amazing.
Like they just put Scotch eggs out there and expect you to eat.
Yeah, they didn't do anything.
Bangers and mash, baby.
Bangers and mash.
They did have bangers.
Okay, listen, bangers and mash if it's done right is phenomenal. The stuff at Bog and Barley, if you ever been over there.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was very impressed by the food. Like I said, that was my one concern because it's like we both like to go sit down and eat, and we're gonna eat a lot on this trip. And if it's not good, I'm gonna be disappointed. But it was very good. Very good. And
rock on, dude. I'm happy.
Dangerous.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you, sir.
Happy for your family as well. Full family.
Yep.
That's always exciting, man.
Dude, I got to meet your folks for the first time. I have known you since you were 19 years old, and I just got to meet your folks for the first time. I've talked to them on the phone. Your dad is the youngest, coolest dude I've ever met who is the father of a groom. He's awesome.
Everybody's been saying we look like brothers for like the last year and a half, and it's so disheartening when people say that.
Y'all do kind of look like
brothers. Does he look young or do you look old?
That's what I always say.
He looks young.
You kind of look old to me, man, but
he looks young, I would imagine.
He's only 51, so he's not
Tracy said Tracy was like, she thought that was when I was like, I think that's his dad right there. She was like, she goes, I saw him earlier. I thought that was his brother.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we're 24
That's
years
wild.
apart. We're 24 years apart.
Do you make a deal with the devil to stay young forever?
I don't know what he did.
No, I know what he did. I won't say it on air.
Is he on that Tom Brady plan?
No. My dad's not a health nut. I can assure you.
He's on that Wiz Khalifa plan.
Ooh. Speaking of which, I'm coming back from California. It was a good time. It was a really good time, brother.
Yeah.
Although I did get the worst food sickness of my life out there.
Dude, you are the most
fish tacos, brother. That's the worst. Listen, I don't think there's a good food to get food sickness off of, but fish tacos gotta take the cake.
Dude,
that's bad coming up.
You get food poisoning more than any human I've ever met.
What are you talking about?
I feel like in the last
your stomach
3 years,
is jacked. Your stomach is jacked.
3 years, I think you've gotten it like 4 times.
That's not. When was the last time I got it?
I don't know. I just remember having these conversations.
Maybe he's lying to us when he says he's got food poisoning.
Yeah, it's just his go-to. Like I've never
They got me.
I've never had food.
They caught me
before, so I don't.
Dude, I don't remember having food. No, I don't remember having food sickness at all.
Maybe not.
It's the first time since I've known you that I've had food sickness.
I don't know. We might have to dig through some
tape.
I'm
gonna dig
pull the tape.
I'm gonna dig through some tape.
See what you find.
Tape. Yeah, I'm gonna go through our text messages and see.
Yeah.
Oh man, well let's get to it, guys.
Let's do it.
13 minutes in. Shout out to you, Christian. It was a beautiful. Number one, it was a beautiful wedding. It was great. It was awesome. Anna Ruth is gorgeous. You outpunted your coverage.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
She's a good-looking woman. I don't know what to tell you.
Take it easy.
Hey, he's not wrong.
I'm not wrong. But while you were away, Christian, the Tigers kept playing basketball.
Unfortunately.
Well, they won. So I guess there's that. 2-0 in conference, wins over North Texas and Rice. North Texas was
awful.
Single-handedly the worst basketball game I've watched all year.
Awful.
I'm not kidding you. That was 57-48, and I about tore my eyeballs out while I was sitting on the couch in San Diego. To the teams combined, 6 for 36 from 3? I think was the final tally. The Tigers in these 2 games, even though they've started 2-0 in conference, have a combined 33 turnovers, 19 in the North Texas game. So,
Gross.
guys, can I do something real quick before we get into like the real conversations, or even if you want to have the conversations that we've been having? Because I don't know what more there is to add about this team.
There's nothing.
I want to try to do a different exercise today. I want to go around the room here. I want you to say something positive about this team. That's where we need to start. Because
can I begin?
I'm known as the premier Tiger basketball hater for some reason. Don't know how I got that title, but I want to spread some positivity with this 2-0 starting conference. That's where I'll start. I'll start with my positive spin. Hey, they're 2-0 in conference. They're on a 3-game win streak. There's my positivity for this team for the day.
I'm gonna say, because this was really the only thing that I could think of and pull out. Curtis Givens has been better than expected.
There we go.
This year.
Okay.
But he played 5 minutes in the last game.
Well,
Hey,
okay,
not-
Kenny, this is positive. All right, your turn now.
Doing?
Your turn, brother.
I mean, I'm just saying he's been the most consistent offensive player on the team for the past 4 or 5 games, and he played 5 minutes the other game.
Yeah, but
Kenny, this is not the exercise. Right? We can go polls later.
All right, I have my positive is this: their abject, unbelievably ugly play in the non-conference section of the schedule has given us the opportunity now at this point, with them being 2-0 in conference, to not give a damn about the net, the Ken Palm.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good
one. All that stuff. Now it's literally all about wins and losses, and so we don't have to do. So all the non-ball knowers out there all the non-ball knowers that talk about Memphis Tiger basketball on the radio, on podcasts, on all this, the only thing they have to talk about is the net, the Bart Torviks, the Ken Palms, all that shit. We don't have to talk about that. And now the real ball knowers can actually talk about basketball. It's fun.
Let me simplify this too. This is another positive to sort of, piggyback off what you said. We have clarity on how this has to go this year, right?
You gotta win
the conference and win the conference tournament, and you're in. That's it. We have clarity.
They could literally win by 1 every single game for the rest of the year, and it doesn't make a damn bit of difference to the playoff, to the NCAA tournament seeding. And so it could be as ugly as hell. They could shoot 6% from the 3-point line, and it doesn't matter as long as they win.
Fair.
Now getting to it though. Let's talk about the real things on the table here. And we've already said this earlier in the season. It was 5 games in, 6 games in, 10 games in. We're now 14 games in. It's the same thing. There is no understanding of who is who and what the pecking order is supposed to be, who's going to be playing, what the rotations are going to look like, what grouping is going to be on the floor at the same time. And guys, I've gone back and forth with this because on one hand, I say, Penny, just pick somebody. Pick some people that you think are the most consistent and just give them some leash because what's going on right now can't stand. Like, you can't keep doing that. But on the other hand, I do kind of understand to a certain extent his plight because, for example, Zach Davis is the hero of the North Texas game. 12 points off the bench, looks good. And as a coach, with not a lot of guys that he feels like he can trust on his team, I see a guy score 12 points. We win a conference game. I say, okay, let me start this guy. He starts him. He goes 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. Doesn't make a single field goal. So, on one hand, I sit there and I'm like, Penny, make some decisions. On the other hand, I say, I don't know what decisions you should be making.
Inconsistent. Yeah.
I have no idea what decisions should be made right now. Yeah. I will say, though, Curtis Givens, to your point, needs 5 minutes in a game is unacceptable for him.
Yeah. I don't really have I don't really have anything to further on that, but I do have kind of an unfortunate thing about this team that's not on the floor or anything like that, specifically pointing out a player. The American is awful this year.
Terrible.
It is so bad. So how unfortunate for Penny and I guess just Memphis basketball fans that the worst conference that we've seen in the American in Penny Hardaway's time, they coincidentally have the worst team they've had during the Penny Hardaway era.
I'm ready to make that declarative statement, right? Maybe year 1 was a little shaky, but I say this is the worst team I've seen in Penny Hardaway's tenure.
Yeah, year 1 wasn't great by any means as far as just what was left over, but at least you had Jeremiah Martin playing out of his mind in
True.
conference play. You don't have anything like that. So that's me, like thus far, and looking at them starting in conference play and what the conference looks like. I think I was looking at it a second ago. I think the highest ranked team in KenPom is Tulsa at 68. And then second best is Memphis at 77, if that tells you anything.
And that's just because Tulsa hadn't played a soul. They've already lost a conference game to North Texas.
Right.
You know, like they
thought we
started 13-1 and then lost their second conference game
to a North Texas team that the Tigers won by 9 against,
and scored they scored in less than 50.
But then
Zach Davis was the leading scorer. Say no more.
But then here's the crazy part: they went to Rice and only won by 6 to Rice, and Tulsa beat Rice by 40, 50 points a couple of games before.
Yeah,
so it's like
48.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, the reality of the situation is that the Tigers are smack square in the middle of the talent level of this American Conference, and that's a sad place for, I think, most Memphis fans to imagine this Tigers team being at. I will say this: I find this team to be more interesting than some of Penny's more talented, more dysfunctional teams. Like the 21-22 team was interesting to a degree, but there was a level of quit in that team that I just could not appreciate. And I will say, as rough as it has been, the basketball, as rough as it has been, they are a team that they fight a lot. They give a lot of energy, a lot of effort. Most of the time it's futile. But I like that they still are fighting. Does that make sense?
It's not an effort problem, it's a talent problem.
Yes.
I mean, without a shadow of a doubt.
And can we be completely honest? I think there's especially on the defensive end and the non-con, there's a lack of understanding of scheme. I think so.
Yeah.
I don't question their fight, but it's a lack of talent mixed with a lack of understanding of what Penny wants them to run. And I don't even necessarily know what Penny wants them to run, but I know that Penny installed it kind of late, and they have had a lot of trouble adjusting.
We don't have to go past. I mean, I think as much as we can like dog on these kids and like what their talent level is compared to, like, number one, how much money they're making in NIL and you know what their rankings were as they were coming out of high school and whatever. This has been probably one of the more chaotic years of Penny Hardaway coaching that I've seen. Though, and I said this on Tigers Live after the Rice game, but one of the biggest things that a coach can do for an unstable team is to give fake, or whatever you want to call it, stability. Like, just you be stable. And I know that the lineup that started against Rice was the same lineup that started against Purdue and Wake Forest in the Baja Mar tournament, but that was so long ago that it almost doesn't even matter. That would be 11 different starting lineups in 14 games.
That is crazy.
And you're talking also about a team that one guy, Simon Majok, comes off 3 or 4 did not play coaches' decisions to start against Rice. Curtis Givens comes off of 30-minute plus games in a row, 15 to 18,
18, 22, 29, 21, 8.
Right. Like production for this team, and gets 5 minutes in the Rice game. Like, there is a level of instability that Penny Hardaway is coaching this team with that I just don't understand what he's doing in year 8.
But I think you said it within the first part of that sort of answer there. Like, it would be manufactured stability if
That's
you just ran out the same lineup. But, like, it's manufactured. You know, like, that's not necessarily going to work long term. I mean, obviously, at this point, try something. You know, just stick with something. Stick with the same rotations for 3 games at a time and see if it works out. Then you can readjust.
Switch it again.
I will agree with this. The instability of just game to game it's hard to watch.
Because
it really is.
It's like Kenny was saying with Majok going from a coach's decision do not play to starting. How do you draw that conclusion? How can you expect people to perform when they have no idea what the expectation for them is.
100%.
Because if you can go from literally not touching the floor to starting in one game, how do you know what's expected of you?
So touching the floor and then not playing a single minute.
Right.
Like Tarek Ingram did in this last game.
Right. And it's something that we've talked about with Penny forever. The years that he's done really well, there's been a concise plan for the players. And it was very defined roles is a phrase that we've used that feels like thousands of times over the last several years. And they just don't have that. And that goes into stability, decision make, whatever way you want to package it. It's just, if players don't know what's expected of them, then the coaches don't know either, or they would be able to pass those expectations down and let those players know what they are. But it's like it is such a game-to-game basis, like Kenny mentioned, 11 different starting lineup combinations in 14 games. That is absurd. I don't know how you lead a successful.
I'll go to the lengths of saying it's borderline malpractice. It really is. I'll go to those lengths. Like that's
what are you doing?
Listen. I know I've earned my Penny Hardaway hater nickname supposedly from those in the comments, but I go back to what I said at the beginning of this conversation. I don't. If I was him, I would have trouble making decisions too. But he's the coach. I'm not paid what he's paid to coach this team.
I think you have 4 months with these guys prior to the season starting, and you're telling me that what is it, week number whatever, game number whatever, you are just now, he said it yesterday in his coach's show, that he finally found 7 guys that he thinks he has something with.
I'm like,
but do y'all buy that? He said that like 5 times this season.
I have a theory, and I don't know exactly, like, because Christian and I have covered Penny Hardaway his entire career. Gabe, you have too. And one of the things that's funny about Penny is that, if you ask him a question, you're going to get an answer. It is so unique in a college atmosphere to go from, especially when football and basketball were going on at the same time in the last couple of years, to go and sit down in a Ryan Silverfield press conference and then go sit down in a Penny Hardaway press conference. Because with Ryan, you're going to get all coach speak, all the same thing. The entire, every answer is the exact same every single time he's asked a question. I would purposefully go into press conferences in football and ask him like ridiculous questions just to try to get something more out of him. Like, do you want to beat Arkansas's ass? Right? Like, do you want to beat their ass this year? And his response was a sly grin. This is before he was now the coach at Arkansas. But it's those kind of things. You would have to like prod things out of him. With Penny, you ask him what's the weather like outside, and he's giving you a full, like, everything he's got clip is coming out. There is a theory. I'm kind of developing a theory that I think, and I don't know exactly how deep I want to go with it, but when you start to hear Penny talk, you didn't hear any of that conversation last year from Penny about the team because he knew.
You're 100% right with what you're about to say.
I think that there is when Penny talks about the team and the deficiencies that the team has with energy, with focus, with this, with that, I think a lot of that is projection. I think he is absolutely projecting his own, I don't know what to do with these guys. Yep. And so I'm putting that on them.
Yeah. And like every year that Memphis has struggled, he has gone back to the quote unquote, like, guys I trust, like finding the guys I trust. He doesn't have to say that, last year or the season with Kendrick Davis. Like, he didn't have to say 15 times, I think we finally found the players that we can trust. But he's already done it multiple times this year. You go back to the Javon Quinterly year, he did it multiple times that year. Anytime that there has been question marks surrounding lineups, rotations, players that need to be in the game, that is like his go-to, like finding guys I can trust. And then that usually is followed by a major switch.
It's usually followed by the most insane starting lineup you've ever seen.
Yep, pretty much every
recorded
time.
History.
So,
Tierno Silla runs out there.
Yeah,
your backcourt or your front court pairings, Aaron Bradshaw and Tierno Silla.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think Kenny hit the nail on the head. I think
you're
exactly right.
It's a good point.
But let's talk some Memphis football, a little bit of transfer portal, and then we can move on to the hot three. Not a lot here. Other
lot
than
of- a lot
I
of
don't know.
players.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what all y'all talked about with this last week. So I don't know how y'all. I don't know if y'all did talk about this. If y'all went in depth on the transfer portal, Memphis has basically been wiped out.
Yeah,
The University of Arkansas Tigers is what they're called now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
the cupboard has basically been cleaned out at Memphis as far as the talent. Most of them are heading to Arkansas. I think Memphis has landed 15 transfers up to this point.
It's a little more at this point, but
Is it?
yeah,
There's
there's been some last couple of hours.
Okay. Well, the vast majority are from Southern Miss.
13 of the first 15.
Yeah, 13 of the first 15 came from Southern Miss, which is
which
expected.
is to be expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Ryan at Arkansas, he's bringing in a lot of guys from Memphis to Arkansas. It's just what happens when a head coach leaves. A lot of people end up following them. And if you look at a lot of these transfers that are coming from Southern Miss, a few of them were at Marshall with Charles Huff before and came from Marshall to Southern Miss and now to Memphis. Looking at what they've landed up to this point, Gabe said there's been a couple in the last few hours. I have not seen those, but there's no one that really jumps off the page at me that I've looked at so far that says this guy's going to be a huge difference maker. Rotational guys, maybe some depth pieces, some younger guys that can contribute. But unless I'm missing something, Gabe, there's no like jump out in front of your face. This guy's going to be a difference maker from day.
No, I mean, there's a few guys worth mentioning. The first signee, I believe, or second signee, they ended up first signee was Tyshawn Chapman. He's a wide receiver from Southern Miss. He's fast as hell. He's fast as hell. He's caught for like 400 yards in 2 years. He hadn't been overly productive. But I've asked around, and he's 4'3", low 4'4" guy. So he's very, very fast, plays wide receiver. They did sign a quarterback that Charles Huff brought into potentially take over as a starter at Southern Miss if he was going to stay. Denzel Gardner, dual threat guy, about 6 foot. He's a 3-star out of Maryland, out of high school is where he came from.
He's
from DeMatha. So
DeMatha Catholic.
Really good high school.
He was a freshman this year, right? Is that correct?
He was a freshman this year.
Yeah.
He's not coming out of high school. I said that all wrong.
Yeah.
But he came out of high school to Southern Miss. I think he redshirted. Now he's headed to Memphis. So he's a guy that could take over, although I would like to see an experienced quarterback potentially for year one for Charles Huff. And then there's another guy, the only guy of note, in my opinion, from outside of that Southern Miss program, Stonka Burnside.
Yes,
he's another wide receiver.
He just committed today.
Yeah, this was today. This was in the last couple of hours, but from Mississippi State, wide receiver there. He's relatively young as well. So
a badass name. Stonka Burnside is one of the better names of all time.
Yes, but he could potentially be a guy. But listen, man, I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't. I mean, I think it's a little too early to be fully concerned. But the lack of, big name, being involved with big names, that gives me a little bit of pause. Because I will, Ryan, you can say what you want about Ryan. Ryan was involved in some decent names in the portal every single year. And was able to find some very productive guys out of there. And I've yet to see, like, that big splash get out of the portal from Huff yet. But he's still got plenty of time.
Well,
not plenty of time, but time.
Thamel put a crystal ball out for Dallin Hayden. From the CBHS alum, Ohio State, Colorado.
To where?
To Memphis.
You think so? That would be an awesome get.
That would be an awesome get.
Unbelievable get.
Thamel put a crystal ball on Dallin Hayden. That would be a huge get.
I asked multiple people.
Hey, I'm not leading you astray. I'm not leading you astray on this one.
I know. I think there's some people that have their doubts, but I definitely thought it was a possibility. He's been to a couple of big places and it's just not worked out.
Yeah,
to the best.
He was fantastic at Ohio State. When he got touches, he was productive.
And if you talk to any Colorado fan, all they wanted was for him to get more carries,
more touches.
And hey, this could be. He could be not just good at this level, elite at this level.
Yeah.
He could be one of the best running backs in the country at this level.
And Memphis is going to have to continue to be extremely busy. When you look at what they've lost, I mean, like I said, the cupboard is bare. They've been gutted. Like, just going through some of these names, they obviously lose A.J. Hill, the one that hurts the most. He's going to Fayetteville to reunite with Ryan Silverfield. That's a tough pill to swallow. So you lose A.J. Hill and Arrington Maiden. So you lost 2 quarterbacks. Just going, like I said, over some of the big names. Chris Bracey, who was impressive this year. Sutton Smith, who we've all loved for years. DeMarco Ward. It's just there's like I don't know the number. It's got
it was 21 of the 22 starters on offense and defense. Only left over, and I'm not even sure. I haven't gotten updated. Oh God, Parker Mitchell, the right guard. He was the only one who hadn't. I
think he's in the portal.
He's in the portal, so 22 at 22.
Well,
and the kicker and the long snapper. So
hey, I will say the one guy who produced for the Tigers this year that's not in the portal, Brady Cluse is still at Memphis. That's not bad.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. I like that. Let's put a bow on this real quick, though. We all know what the most important thing is.
Got to get a quarterback.
They got to get a quarterback.
Yes.
I read a little bit about the quarterback that they're bringing from Southern Miss. Gabe mentioned him earlier. People were impressed with him out of high school. It's great to have a young guy to develop, and he's already had 1 year in college. But you can't hand the keys to a program with a first-year head coach to a redshirt freshman quarterback unless he is legit. Quarterbacks it could. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but you have no choice but to bring in a veteran option, regardless of how it shakes out.
No matter what, you have to fill out the quarterback room.
Yes, you got to fill out the quarterback room. You got to have some experience in there. That's going to be a huge priority for Charles Huff and the staff. They have got to land someone that can at least bring some stability and at least make them steady at the quarterback position, because not only was it already a difficult task for him, but now to have a completely, entirely new roster, new starters, that's tough. I mean, that's really tough. So we'll see how he does. We'll see who they bring in, but first and foremost, you gotta land a signal caller that can be a difference maker.
A name that I'm hearing the Tigers are attached to is Marcus Stokes out of West Florida, a guy who committed to Florida out of high school, was caught on Snapchat rapping a lyric as a white dude that he's not supposed to rap.
Okay.
Florida took his scholarship. He went to West Florida, and from what let me look at his stats real quick. He's 6'2", 210, had 3,600 passing yards, 40 touchdowns this season.
Oh, I remember when this happened.
Yeah.
Well, that would be pretty good. That's very, very productive. That's incredibly productive.
So 40 touchdowns.
But what? Tell me about his rushing. You have it in front of you?
He is a hit. Oh shoot! Let me look. Let me click on this
dual threat guy, because that's what Huff said he wanted.
He is a dual threat. Oh my gosh, they're making me.
Oh, it's all good, dude. You're looking at West Florida stats. I mean, it's not the.
Well, no, it's on threes going. Oh, if you want to look at stats, you gotta look at.
Yeah,
you gotta pay
on three in that damn paywall, man.
Shit,
they're like, we have all the latest intel. Click.
Speaking of, how does a guy? I'm not gonna say that. How does a guy? Shout out to Jeff Calkins leaving 92.9. I know he's your former coworker at this point, but why did Daily Memphian put his retirement article behind a paywall? Like, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I'm like,
I got the rushing stats.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
367 yards, 10 touchdowns.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That would be a hell of a get.
About 31
Those are the type of stats though that have a lot more programs attached to them though. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well, he's visiting App State right now.
Yeah, 275 passing yards per game, 31 rushing yards per game, 40 total touchdowns. So 13 picks. So needs to work on that a little bit, but it'd be something, I guess. I mean, you got to do something.
No, what's going to really bother the shit out of me is if a guy like Arrington Maiden, who's gettable and keepable and retainable,
turns out to be
ends
really
up
good.
hooping somewhere else.
I think
feel like that's a distinct possibility.
I think he could be.
Even over AJ Hill. I swear to you. Like, I think that Arrington has some juice, man.
Arrington could be one of those guys that goes small school and blows.
He took a picture at James Madison today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he
put it out there. I was like, that's a scary thought for me.
He'd probably kill it there. All right, boys. Well, let's take a quick break. On the other side, we'll be back with the Hot Three. We'll talk some NFL. We'll talk some college football playoffs. So, quick break. Be back with the Hot Three.
In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles.
I think we are absolutely capable, especially defensively.
Absolutely.
I mean, as bad as we've made some of these teams look, that we could 100% win the league. I don't think it's going to be pretty.
Have you mentally prepared yourself for it to not be pretty? Like, are you okay with it not being pretty?
It's so tough to watch.
Are you in a place where you feel comfortable knowing that at this point in this season, the Tigers, literally the only thing that matters is where you put the mark at the end of the game in the win or the loss column? Can we be
100%? It is so freeing.
Yes.
To not be talking about the stupid net. We can win every single remaining league game by 1 point on a buzzer beater for all I care. Just win.
As a representative of all Tiger fans, as the Tiger fan,
yeah,
can we get Tiger fans to that same place that you're at?
I think those that truly understand and keep up with it are probably at that point, but there's going to be a lot that don't, like a lot of the casuals.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
All right. We are back with the Hot Three. Boys, everybody's favorite day in the NFL is Black Monday. So let's talk about some Black Monday firings in the NFL. What do y'all think? What's the one you're most surprised by? I think I've got my answer.
Yeah, I mean,
it's Black Tuesday today, by the way.
Yeah, it's
okay. Yeah, Black Tuesday. It extended over to today. Yeah,
it's easy. And I guess respect to the Ravens for kind of waiting, which you'll see some organizations, they kind of take some more time and don't do it in the frenzy with everybody else. They kind of give guys that deserve it a moment. And John Harbaugh had the floor to himself today. It is surprising, but it's not surprising at the same time, right? Like I'm sure y'all saw the reports of fractures in the relationship between him and Lamar Jackson, and that players wanted him gone, and they kind of the same thing with Mike Tomlin, right? Like they thought it had gotten stale, trying to do the same thing over and over again, kind of just hitting your head against the wall and getting to the same point. And they would have been better this year if Lamar would have been healthy the entire season. They probably still would have won 11 or 12 games, but would they have made it through the playoffs? Who knows? But it's just one of those things when you've been at a place for 18 years, it's hard to stay relevant and to mix things up. And I think he's adapted some, right? Like it's not the Greg Roman offense that we saw early in Lamar's career. They went to Todd Monken. They've done some different things. They've thrown the ball more. It's not the same offense that it was with Joe Flacco. Like he's definitely adapted with the game, but I think just with that organization, it's run its course, and it was time. I'm sure he'll quickly get another job. There's solid openings right now that have potential. Can we see him going and coaching Jackson Dart in New York? I mean, who knows? But I will be shocked if he's not a head coach this year. Like when Mike McCarthy was fired from the Packers and took a year off, that wasn't that shocking. Yeah. John Harbaugh, on the other hand, is going to be very sought after.
I was surprised at it, not shocked, because of the way the season played out and all of the, there was articles about how Lamar Jackson got allowed leeway to show up to meetings late and stuff like that. That's just not normal practice.
Yeah.
But if you're wondering, like, how surprising is this? I saw a report today that in the hour after it was announced that the Ravens and John Harbaugh parted ways, 7 teams had reached out to him about being a head coach. So let's just do the math. There are 7 head coaching openings. One of them's the Ravens. That means there were all 6 of the other openings reached out to John Harbaugh, plus a team with a sitting head coach. So I would imagine he's going to land on his feet very, very soon. The Harbaugh brothers, I mean,
clearly that's Pete Carroll and the Los Angeles Raiders, right?
Or Las Vegas. As far as the NFL is concerned, the Harbaugh brothers are just untouchable. So they'll get another gig. The other one that did surprise me a tad bit, truthfully,
Stefanski.
No, I'm way lower on Stefanski than anybody else. I think it's such a sham how they treat him like he's some offensive guru when his defense held him up all of the years he was in Cleveland. Myles Garrett held him up. Shout out to the new sack leader all time. But Raheem Morris, with the way that the Falcons ended the season, maybe he went to the Kirk Cousins thing a little too late out of necessity because Michael Penix injuries and everything else. But that team started to play a lot better. Defense was improved. Offense was clicking. So, like, that one surprised me. And it felt like, based on all the reports I read, that Drake London, some other guy, Bijan Robinson, all of them advocated for Raheem to get another year.
Yeah, didn't he only get 2 years? Wasn't he only there for 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
I think he went 8 and 9 both years.
Yeah. But this is something. Ravens, obviously the best job on the market right now because of that guy at quarterback, if you can keep him engaged and all that. What's the best job outside of that, in your opinion, in your estimation? Best open job. I would say Falcons because of similar, like Bijan Robinson, Drake London. If you keep Kyle Pitts, the offensive line is sneaky good. Like, Chris Lindstrom's been a perennial All-Pro for years and years and years at the guard position. Yeah. Their defense has some juice, needs some improvement, but it's got some juice. They played well down the stretch of the season. I feel kind of – and Michael Penix, all he needs someone with some decent leadership to come in and help usher him because I think he's got it. He's just got better leadership offensively.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel similarly to that Falcons gig with all the things they have in place to the way I felt about the Jags last year when that came out. Yeah. Where it's like they have the chance to turn that thing around quickly and be a playoff contender going into next season if they get the right guy in the head seat.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's a good job. You got here's a little question. What should they hire an offensive minded head coach that can unlock these guys? I think that has to be the answer, right? Like Bijan was unlocked this year, 2,300 all-purpose yards.
Yes.
Like he's incredible. And I know Drake London was good at the beginning of the season, then he got hurt, so that was kind of unfortunate. We saw what Kyle Pitts did at the end of the year. He's an impending free agent, so we'll see if they bring him back. But I think you hit it also on the offensive line is really good. I mean, they've been a top 5 to top 10 unit over the past 3 or 4 years, pretty much since Arthur Smith got there. They have the talent offensively, and then defensively, they need a few more pieces, but
little by little they've gotten
James Pierce, who they traded up for, came on incredibly at the
10.5 sacks.
Yeah, Jalen Walker, another first-round pick. So they got some edge rushers. They got Jesse Bates in the back end. I'm not sure if he's a free agent or not, but AJ Terrell, like they have some pieces defensively. They just need a couple of more guys and the right scheme to make that thing work. So I think that's a good opening. And it's hard not to talk about the Giants also. Yeah. I mean, you look at the offensive nucleus of Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo coming back from injury, and Malik Neighbors coming back from injury with another high draft pick. That could be I think they're number 5.
And they have a lot of cap space.
Yeah, they have the space. Defensively, you got Brian Burns. You have the blank slate that is Abdul Carter. If you can get his head on right and get him
Dexy.
Dexter Lawrence. You got all the talent in the world with Abdul Carter. That should have been one of the best defensive lines in the league this year. It wasn't. I think Abdul Carter falling short of expectations was a big reason why. But if you get someone that can lock him in and really turn him into the player that he's capable of being, he can be a special 10-plus sacks per year type of player. So they've got a lot of the difficult pieces to land, right? You look at left tackle with Andrew Thomas. You look at edge rusher. They got that with Brian Burns. Quarterback, Jackson Dart looks like he could be the answer. Wide receiver 1, Malik Neighbors. They got that. Running back, Cam Scatterbo. They need some secondary help. They need some linebacker help. And they still need some pieces on the offensive line.
Yep.
But if you can hit on those pieces, they could be a contender for a playoff spot next year. Like, that's how much talent they have on their roster. The holes were just pretty gaping this year. The secondary was bad. Linebacker play was bad. Offensive line was up and down. Receivers outside of Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson weren't great. But I think both of those teams have a lot of similarities between them in the fact that the offenses could be really high-powered. Defenses weren't great this year, but they're not far away from being competent units.
Yeah, now let's do the opposite side of that coin. Worst opening. Like the job where it's like, don't take it, brother. That'll be your last gig. I think it's a pretty obvious one for me. Las Vegas Raiders. They're cooked. Yeah. They're bottom half, middle of the pack to bottom half in cap space. They don't have a quarterback option that really makes sense. Geno Smith ain't that guy. Ashton Genty is great, but he can't do anything behind the offensive line that they have. The only redeeming offensive lineman, in my opinion, at this point is Dylan Parham over there. Shout out to my former teammate. Defense is miserable, and they the one redeeming quality of their defense, they just pissed off to no end at Max Crosby by sitting him the last couple
Did you see that? Did you see that report today from an NFL?
He wants out.
It's done. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
so, I agree completely. They're a dumpster fire.
And the ownership, no one wants to work for Mark Davis. No one wants to work for that ownership group.
No. I would say the Browns, it would be close if this rookie class wasn't so it didn't have the potential to be so special with Mason Graham and Carson Schlesinger and Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson. Like, that rookie class could be a foundation for them. The only reason I would still put them decently close is because it's the Browns and they can't ever figure it out. So I don't know what they do, and they don't have the quarterback situation with them also. Is up in the air. When you look at the other openings, the Titans, Cam Ward, in my opinion, really came on at the end of the year, showed a lot of potential. We talked about the Giants. We talked about the Falcons. We talked about the Ravens.
The Titans are doing the Titans thing. Did you see their first interview they have lined up for Friday?
Jason Garrett.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. That's Amy Adams Strunk at her best, dude. Come on. That's what she does.
Man.
But I need to ask you, football ball knower Christian, I need to ask you this, brother. Kevin Stefanski, he's going to get a job in all likelihood in this cycle because he's thought of so highly. But I just need to ask the question, why is he thought of as highly as he is? What did he do in Cleveland that really impressed people? He won one playoff game. He had an overall losing record by, I think, 10 games. And here's my biggest issue. He's an offensive head coach, and I never thought his offenses were any good. He was held up by the defense, Jim Schwartz, Myles Garrett, all those dudes every year. Like, they had 2 playoff appearances, and I felt like their defense was the reason for both of those playoff appearances.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really think he has a very good running scheme.
Brother, if you have the requisite, talent and Nick Chubb behind the crazy offensive line, I can run zone. I can run mid zone until I'm blue in the face and run for 300 yards a game. Like, that's not that hard.
No, it's not.
I think Mike McDaniel's run scheme substantially better.
Yeah, and it's just that zone running.
Stefanski.
Yeah, it's just the zone running scheme. It's nothing crazy. I'm just saying that's why I think people fell in love with him, is because he had that zone running scheme and that offensive line was so good and Nick Chubb was so good. But outside of that,
to be fair, a lot of the good offensive schemes and coaches in the NFL run the similar schemes. KOC with the Vikings, Sean McVay, Shanahan, like, they all do similar things. What they're doing in Seattle right now with Clint Kubiak, who I think should be at the top of the list for a lot of teams that are looking for, like, if they have a young quarterback, Clint Kubiak, OC for the Seahawks, should be up there.
Hey,
But-
Gabe, another job that we're not talking about that's pretty I wouldn't think it'd be very wanted, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Bad ownership, and Kyler, what is
They're getting rid of him. I mean, they've got Trey McBride and Michael Wilson, and that's about
Trey
it.
McBride, you mean? Michael Wilson's solid. Trey
Michael
McBride
Wilson
is
was good.
good though.
Yeah, Trey McBride's awesome. Outside of that, defensively, what do they have? Buda Baker.
Our guy Walter Nolan showed
Walter
a little
Nolan
bit.
was solid. What was the corner from Michigan? Will Johnson. He was up and down his rookie year, but yeah, those three jobs are just like I don't know.
Who was the corner who got cooked by Cody Ford on that comeback route in week 18?
That I'm not sure of.
I think it was Denzel Burke.
Denzel Burke. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be a tough one to take.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. Topic number 2. I feel like y'all could talk about that for the next 4 hours if you want. We'll move on. Let's go to the NFL playoffs, though. And before y'all get going, I have to discuss the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the Baltimore Ravens and it being Calvin Austin III and Kenny Gainwell leading the way for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out to them because it feels like they are a massive part of this thing moving forward for Pittsburgh.
Kenny Gainwell has become a
legit
check
guy.
down, third down back god.
He was the team MVP.
Right.
Truthfully. Yeah.
Yeah. Calvin doesn't do much. He can stretch the field, but they don't use him all that much. He has some big splash plays.
A solid year, but
yeah.
Kenny,
he was injured for a lot. He was injured for a lot of the year.
Yeah,
Kenny was awesome.
But Kenneth Gainwell, that catch that he made against the Lions is one of the more ridiculous plays you'll ever see in the NFL. Playoffs as a whole, though, it is a strange year, boys. It is completely
it's off the
backwards.
wall.
Say it. No Mahomes, no Burrow, no Jackson. Say it.
So you're looking at 1 seeds being the Denver Broncos, which Sean Payton became the second head coach in NFL history to have a number 1 seed in the NFC and AFC. Only other coach, Tom Coughlin, with the Jags and the Giants. And then you have the Seattle Seahawks, which Mike McDonald deserves so much credit. I mean, was the defense coordinator for the Ravens 2 years ago, came in last year. It was okay. And then this year, defensively, that team is a nightmare to go up against. They're right up there with the Texans for the best defense in the league. So that's your 2 1 seeds. They'll be off this week. Outside of that, I don't have it pulled up, so I'm kind of going from memory right now. But I know we have the Jags and the Bills.
Jags, Bills, Texans, Steelers, Chargers,
Patriots.
And then in the NFC, you have Bears, Packers for the 3rd time.
Yep.
Eagles, Niners, which should be a really good one. I'm excited for that one. And then kind of the stinker, in my opinion, of the first round, Rams.
Yeah. I would say let's talk about game you're most excited for. I think this is kind of tough to me because you can make an alluring case for pretty much all these games to me outside of Texans, Steelers, and Rams.
God, Texans Steelers can be the most disgusting football game ever played.
Yeah. So those 2 games, and I think those are both the 4-5 seeds because the Steelers won their division and the Panthers won their division.
Can I give mine real quick before y'all move on?
Can we get an amendment to go straight seeding?
Yeah, I agree.
Like a team that wins 4, like the Vikings last year win 14 games and they're the 5 seed?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the Bills-Jags game. I think that's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah. I'll give you that. Without question for me, it's the 3rd matchup between the Bears and the
Bears and the Packers.
I'm hyped up for that one.
Yeah.
Obviously, part of it's my brother works at 670 Score in Chicago.
Right.
Chicago is on fire, man.
Oh, I bet they're going crazy.
And I don't blame them because Caleb Williams down the stretch, some of the throws he was making, that BB
the DJ Moore
over the shoulder. No, but the BB he threw over the shoulder to Colston Loveland in the 49ers game.
Oh, yeah.
Holy God.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a 40-yard rope.
He can make
he
can make some unreal throws.
It's silly. So for me, what I'm watching in that game, obviously the Packers are limping into the playoffs. It's the 3rd matchup, divisional matchup, rivalry. But what I want to see is Caleb Williams has taken the requisite steps to say, okay, I can get this team to the playoffs. But now it's that real test of one-off, win or go home game. do you have what it takes when you get to the playoffs? When you're playing for real meaning? I want to see that from Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I those were the first two that popped into my head also. But to go with a different one, Gabe kind of mentioned this one. The 49ers and the Eagles have been pretty boring this year, and I understand that. But the reason that this could be a really fun matchup is your kind of strength on weakness here, right? Philly's offense is not great. San Francisco's defense with all the injuries is just struggling right now. And then on the flip side, Philly's defense is very strong. But outside of this past week against Seattle, San Francisco was in the 3 games before that. I think they were averaging 42.6 points
with 2 different quarterbacks the whole year.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. And Purdy was playing at a different level until he ran into that Seahawks defense. So I think that could be one of those games where you get strength on weakness, and it turns into a really fun back and forth game. We'll see what the Eagles offense looks like, but I think the 49ers defense can prop up most offenses. So I hope we get an entertaining kind of offensive shootout in that game that maybe some people aren't looking for.
One stat that blew my mind, for the first time in NFL history, the 1 seed and the 2 seed, so the top 4 seeds in the playoffs, their quarterbacks have combined for 0 playoff wins. First time in NFL history that's ever been the case. But that also leads me to a question that I have struggled with. We can do overall all 14 teams, or we can do one from the AFC, one from the NFC. Who do you trust? Which team, AFC, NFC, who do you trust to, hey, they're going to win a couple games, make a run? Because I don't know who the hell that is. I'd say the Rams, but I'm not really picking the Seahawks or the Broncos, the number 1 seeds. I don't, because I know Sam Darnold can be pretty at times. He can be all over the place. Obviously, it's happened less and less frequently the past couple of years because he joined Tom Brady as the only quarterback in NFL history, only quarterbacks in NFL history to have 2 14-win seasons in a row. That's insane.
It's crazy.
And then the Broncos, it's like great defense.
So ugly, man.
Offense up and down as hell. I don't know what to think.
Their
run game's not that great.
They are 12-2 in 1-score games this year. So 14 out of their 17 games this year have been 1 score. So I agree with you. In the NFC, I think it has to be the Rams just because Stafford this year, 4,700 yards, 46 touchdowns, just different level. And I know I don't want to say they limped into the playoffs, but they're not really going into the playoffs playing their best ball. They're really playing their best ball kind of in the middle end of the season rather than the true end of the year. And in the AFC, I really want to say the Bills because Josh Allen's the best quarterback.
But the can't do it.
So bad. So honestly, if I trust any team in the AFC, it might be Jacksonville.
No way.
You might be right.
I don't know who else to go with. I mean, I was
going to say the Pats, but it's also like, how can you trust a team, first-year head coach, very young quarterback, never been in this situation with most of their players before. But like when I talk about like complete teams that I do trust their offense and their defense from a consistency standpoint, I'd probably look at the Patriots. But like that's the question I keep asking myself. You don't have Lamar, you don't have Mahomes, you don't have Burrow, so you're sitting here with all this new in front of you, and you're trying to decipher like who the hell's going to actually make it through to the damn Super Bowl this year. It's intriguing. It really is.
Very much so.
I'm excited about the NFL playoffs. It's going to be so much fun. There's something about those Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers games in the cold. That's like the 49ers game's cool, but it's in San Francisco and it's going to be beautiful and it's going to be gorgeous weather. And I'm like, give me the sun.
That'll be in Philly. It'll be in Philly.
Oh, I thought it was in San Francisco. My bad.
It'll be nice and cold.
Okay, so it'll be cold. Yeah, never mind. All right, let's get to the last topic, college football playoffs. Guys, this has been so badass.
Yeah.
It has been amazing. Do we want to go backwards or we want to go forward?
We'll just sort of,
we can do
dealer's
both.
choice, brother. I just want to start with the Final Four being the Final Four that we have. Indiana, Oregon, Ole Miss, Miami. If I would have told you 2 years ago that would be the Final Four, you would have slapped the shit out of me. And really, before the season, you probably would have slapped me.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? Like the only team that really people gave a shot to be in the fight at this point of these teams is Oregon, and I think they might be
The worst of them all.
no, not the worst of them all, but they're either 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Like it's Indiana, then I'd probably put either Miami or Ole Miss, then Oregon, then the remaining of the Miami or Ole Miss.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like it's a wild turn of events that Ohio State's out, Georgia gone, like,
Alabama gone.
that didn't
Ohio
surprise.
Well,
Can
no,
I-
I'm just talking about blue bloods. Ohio State
Sure.
gone. Like it's
Can we
crazy.
rewind to that Alabama-Indiana game real quick?
Oh my God, systematic, bro.
It doesn't surprise me that Alabama lost and that Indiana covered. It does surprise me that Alabama got beat by more by Indiana than Ole Miss beat Tulane by. And we talk about blowouts all the time.
And I think
it's Alabama is the one losing by 35. Who has
I think pretty substantially more than Oregon beat JMU by. Also, I think they won.
Yeah,
that
well,
one.
it's 51-34 against JMU.
Yeah.
No, it's backdoor cover though.
Maybe we need more G5 schools in the,
I mean-
in the college ball playoffs. Get these bum ass Power 4 schools that get beat by 35 points.
I mean, at this point, though, with what Indiana's proven, I mean, is there anyone else you really like? If I asked you to make a pick of these 4 teams to win the national title, are you picking anyone besides them?
It's Indiana.
I don't
If
think
you,
it's
gave,
fair.
if you gave me Indiana or the field, I'm taking Indiana.
Yeah, it's crazy what they're doing, man. It was just methodical ass kicking
Yeah.
against Alabama. And Alabama could do nothing.
No.
It was ruthless, bro. It was ruthless, that game. I watched the entirety of that game, and it was like I was talking to my 13-year-old daughter about it this morning, and I was like, Indiana just methodically, ruthlessly just beat that team down. It was unbelievable.
Do y'all remember how, and this is kind of where I draw the similarity. Do y'all remember how, like, early Alabama, how boring they were?
Yeah.
And do you remember how, like, not as boring, but like the modern day example of like the Stetson Bennett Georgia team? They were so good. It was just like, really want to watch them because they're going to be so good defensively. The other team's not going to score. And offensively, they're just going to kind of
They're going to get a 2-score lead and then run the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, they're just going to run the ball, and the quarterback's going to pick the other team apart. And that's exactly what this feels like. Like those A.J. McCarron, Greg McElroy, Alabama teams, that is exactly what this feels like to me. Like the defense is dominant. The offense is efficient, but not sexy. Like it feels very similar to those teams to me.
It's so funny to me because since the Oregon game in Autzen where Indiana's won by 10, I've said the same thing for every Indiana opponent leading into that weekend. I've said, listen, if you're going to do one thing offensively, you have to find a way to run the ball. You have to find a way to run the ball. You have to find a way to run the ball. And everybody has tried, and everybody has failed miserably, quite frankly. And it's just if you're not able to establish any run game against Indiana and they get to pin their ears back, they get after you at such a crazy rate. The 5 or 6 sacks against Julian Sand in the Big Ten title game. Got after Ty Simpson pretty good in the Alabama game. This team is awesome. The game that intrigues me, though, obviously the rematch of Oregon Indiana. It's a rematch, Big Ten matchup. I think people are intrigued because of that. Although I don't think it'll be. I think Indiana covers and pretty comfortably, and on a neutral side as opposed to Autzen. This Miami Ole Miss game,
oh man,
I have flip-flopped so much, but I think I'm on the Ole Miss side of things at this point. And the reason I say that, Miami has lived off their defense. The fact that they can go beat Ohio State 24-14, and what was it, Carson Beck threw for like 138?
Yeah.
Like that's impressive in itself because Akeem Mesidor and Reuben Bain Jr. and Keontae Scott had the pick 6. Their defense has been overwhelming. But that's because a lot of these teams they've played, and A&M did this stupidly. They're doing straight dropbacks. You know what I mean? They're not trying to get the ball out there, assuming their O-line can hold up. Ole Miss does something a little different, right? They're heavy RPO game, and when they do throw a downfield shot, it's usually off of play action. Right. And when you get play action, you have different assignments, and that could slow down a rush a little bit. So I like Ole Miss's offense, I think has the potential to do what Ohio State and Texas A&M had no chance of doing, which is put up some points, run up some points on Miami's defense.
Yeah, I don't disagree with this. And typically in matchups where you go, okay, it's strength on strength, right? It's completely different from what we were talking about earlier. This is a strength on strength matchup. This is a really good offense versus a really good defense. And then when you flip it, Miami's offense, not great. Ole Miss's defense, not great. And when usually when there's such a stalemate in strengths and weaknesses in a game, I just kind of default to quarterback play. It's just it might be a cop out, but it's the most tried and true way to go, right? And if I'm going quarterback play in this one, it pretty easily goes to Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah. What he did against Georgia.
Carson Beck started the year out great. I think he was the Heisman front runner for a few weeks. It just hasn't looked good for him over the last month and a half, 2 months. Trinidad Chambliss almost single-handedly beat Georgia. Yeah, and the defense stepped up and made a big stop around the goal line. But the two drives back to back that he had, he's scrambling around, got 5 guys around him, just makes a play, like 3 plays in a row, just make crazy plays. And then, to me, the one everybody's talking about those plays, those are the ones you keep seeing. It's that 3rd and 5 throw, and it tells you everything you need to know about the trust that Charlie Weiss Jr. has in Trinidad Chambliss. There was 32 seconds, I believe, in the game. They had ran the ball the play before. Georgia had 3 timeouts, so they made them call 1. Then it's 3rd and 5. They're in their own territory. And I'm kind of thinking, what do they do here? Do they try something quick, a screen? Do they run the ball? Are they trying to just get to overtime? What do they want to do here? Because you wouldn't – any of those things are not wrong answers in that situation, right? It's all how you want to coach that game. They see man coverage one-on-one, and they
go for it.
They let him go for it. They let him throw it.
So crazy, man.
And he's clearly built for the big moments. He is clearly built for the big moments. And I don't want to take anything away from Carson Beck because he's played really good in big moments too. But who's done it more recently? And that's Trinidad Chambliss.
Sure. Here's the thing, though.
It's hard for me to not default to them.
If this is the funniest thing about this conversation, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like, I 100% don't disagree with the thing you said. If I was playing devil's advocate, though, I would look at Carson Beck's track record, and I'd say he's 15-3 against the AP Top 25. He's 6-0 against the AP Top 25 this year, and he has had way more cracks at the playoff and 100%. Playing in these situations than Trinidad Chambliss or anybody on that Ole Miss roster has been able to, have those opportunities. So if I was playing devil's, it's kind of strange that we look at it that way. And obviously, play on the field, recency bias, all that comes into the equation. But in the end of the day, Carson Beck is he's deeply experienced for this type of game. Which we do need to acknowledge.
He's been a big game and a big moment quarterback in his career. And that's what I said. That's why I'm not trying to take anything away from him. It's just when
Trinidad, man, one of the biggest what ifs is if he would have started from the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
That's a Heisman right there.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, no, he would have cleared rather easily, I believe, as far as that.
Yeah, I think it would damn near first unanimous Heisman. If we had a unanimous Heisman.
Yeah, I think there's been one.
And I'll say this. I love the football talk. But the storylines behind that Ole Miss game is so much fun to me. The fact that Lane Kiffin did everything he could possibly do to end that season for Ole Miss by taking players, by taking coaches, by hamstringing them the way that he did. He became the storyline, and Ole Miss is now in the Final Four, about to possibly go to the championship.
What I respect is they bucked against it.
Yep.
They won it in spite of him. You know what I mean? In spite of his nonsense.
Yeah.
And I respect that. And listen, y'all know this about me. Y'all know me long enough. I'm not an Ole Miss fan. Never will be.
Yep.
I did not like how my team was treated when we headed down to Vaught Hemingway twice. Okay. I've never been a fan of Ole Miss, but I am a fan of this particular team and the way that they have rallied, despite their coach being their former coach being a complete and utter jackass on the way out.
I just think it's hilarious. You leave Ole Miss because you can't win a championship there. You want to go to LSU because you can. And then that very year, Ole Miss is about to possibly be.
By the way,
it's crazy.
Have you seen who Pete Golding has re-signed recently?
Yeah. Chambliss, if he gets another year, Kawan Lacey. And I swear to you, no one has to tell me this. I watched this play out. Lane Kiffin fumbled the bag on Kawan Lacey. No other way of putting it.
he pissed off Kawan Lacey to the point where that's why Kawan Lacey's re-signed with Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I am fully convinced that he would have gone to LSU had Lane Kiffin not been such a diva and D-bag this whole time.
Yeah.
But he fumbled the bag. Kawan's had it back there. They also Prince Will, Uman Milan coming back, a couple of offensive linemen, a couple of defensive linemen. Pete Golding hitting the ground running. Shout out.
All right, boys. It was good to be back this week. It's been a few weeks, so it's very welcoming to be back on the pod and talk to you guys. Just want to thank everybody out there for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, you can like, subscribe, and comment there. If you're listening via podcast, whether that's Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platform, you can do the same thing there. Once again, we appreciate you guys for joining us, and we will see you back here next week.
Thank you for listening to On the Bluff. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports and how you can become an insider.